Hey folks, Deano here again with a take 504 of this third part review of the Black Hole Toys Time Jumper and Brute Evolution, otherwise known as the Super Full Power Saiyan 4 Limit Breaker Xeno Goku and the GT Super Saiyan 4 Goku. That one is less of a tongue twister. Yeah, these two figures are actually going to drive me insane. Like, honestly. I'm just going to say this right now. The accessories are so frustrating to deal with that I almost gave up on this part of the review. That and added with distractions because I've got the window open so you can hear everything. Somebody walks by that's talking a bit too loud, you can hear them. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into this. So first off, Brute Evolution. For some reason his bicep joint, the joint in between the shoulder and the bicep, was far too tight. Like, to the point I thought I was going to break the peg popping it off to get those stupid crossed arms on, which once they are on, they look really, really good. I do really like them. It's just a shame that for whatever reason Black Hole Toys didn't actually account for people using their accessories for some reason. So yeah, unless you're willing to like dip it in hot water and stuff like that, I wouldn't recommend putting the crossed arms on at all. Like, honestly, it's more trouble than it's worth. And that compounded by the fact that the original version, the shoulders pop off just fine. Like, they pop off so easily and pop back on. Like, I don't understand why Black Hole Toys version is so difficult. I'm not even going to attempt to do the Xeno Super Saiyan 4 crossed arms. I'm just terrified I'm going to break something. And they added like paint on that guy. It really makes me think the joints are going to be too tight, because I almost couldn't get these back on between takes, honestly. Another thing you'll notice is that the updated faces are on the standard hair. That would be a good thing, except, well, let's take a look at the faces by themselves just to see the issue that I'm about to talk about, right? So, at the front, on the left, that's the original mould. On the right, that's Black Hole Toys updated mould, right? Right hand side looks far better than the original, but then you turn it round to the back, and do you notice something? The updated moulds, for whatever reason, do not have the peg hole for the standard hair to fit into, plus the pegs on the updated mould are much bigger and longer than the normal one. Which means, if I take this, like, to even get it to fit at all, I had to completely cut that front peg clean off. Like, that's no joke. I had to take the tweezers that I used, they're not the tweezers, the nippers that I use for my model kits, the gunpla. I had to take that and cut it off just to get them to fit. And that's not even accounting for the fact that the pegs are bigger on the new heads, or on the new faces. Once you get it in there and lodged in, it does still look fine. There is a bit of a gap though. So what I did with the standard head is, on top of cutting that peg off, I also trimmed down the pegs on the faces, which I wouldn't recommend because that compromises its ability to hold onto the head. So yeah, that is another thing to keep in mind. I have no idea why Black Hole Toys did not think that through. If you see on the new Windswept here, there is no peg whatsoever, and the peg holes are bigger. So obviously the new heads fit perfectly fine into that updated head. But obviously not everyone wants to use this head. Which brings me to the issue I have with the Windswept head itself, in that once you get it on, which is a pain in the backside on its own, which is the reason why it's on time jumper here and I won't be taking it off for the remainder of the video, these pieces here, yeah, they have not left enough room at the back of his neck to fit through and still be able to use articulation. So there you go. It's just popped off, and it is an absolute nightmare to pop back on. Get in there. There we go. Yeah, so these are very poorly thought out. Like, honestly, I have no idea what Black Hole Toys were thinking. You get a bit more clearance if you do that, but then this piece is in the back of Beyond and you don't actually get to see it, which makes it look weird. So yeah, I'm honestly not sure what Black Hole Toys were thinking with these updated accessories. I'm honestly beginning to think that these figures were rushed out for whatever reason. In which case, like, why? Why rush them out? Like, we were willing to wait as long as we did. Just do a bit more quality control, Black Hole. Like, this is not like you. The Ultra Instinct Goku was absolutely fantastic. But yeah, a bit unfortunate that I have to say all of these negatives, but that is my job as a reviewer after all. If we bring the official Goku in, see if this Windswept here fits on the official peg, just to see if you can swap them about. It should work. I've done it off camera with the normal here. Oh, come on. Bear with me 2 seconds, folks. There we go. So finally it fits. But I wouldn't really trust the connection on it, to be honest. You move the head too much, it's going to pop off that ball peg. But yeah, the ball peg itself is identical, as far as I can tell, to the Black Hole Toys version. So the issue lies in these Windswept hairs themselves, not with Black Hole Toys. Yeah, that just pops straight off. I know for a fact this isn't going to fit at all, but just to prove to people that it doesn't, the Kong Studio heads, yeah, those do not work at all. The peg for Kong Studio Beast Deities always tends to be a lot bigger for some reason. So unless you modified the peg hole, you are unfortunately not going to get it working, I'm afraid. Which is a shame, to be completely honest with you. But yeah, so far this this third part has been a complete wash, to be completely honest with you. But then that's what I'm here for. Last but not least, let's pop this guy apart. Take the waist section from him off. Take the waist section from him off. And let's see what the Beast Deities version of this looks like. Where is he? There we go. So you pop that back on, and yeah, that looks good. The sculpt on the Beast Deities version does honestly look better than the Kong Studios version, which, as I've said before, hard plastic, completely hard plastic shell. There is really not a lot you can do there to solve that. But yeah, I just happen to have two of essentially the same character, so I can swap them over and get a better look. Which, honestly, the pearlescent effect actually looks better on the Black Hole Toys version, because obviously you've already got that metallic shading and stuff. So yeah, that kind of works out if you have both together. So yeah, honestly guys, like, as much as I do still recommend these figures, like, be aware that you will have to do a bit of modding to get them to work. And that is honestly a damn shame. Black Hole Toys has been a bit of a miss with these releases. And I am not sure why, honestly. Black Hole Toys is usually great, so I can't really understand what they got wrong here. Oh, there is one more swap I can do before we go. Let's pop these guys apart. Come on, bear with me a second with this one. And just like that, we have gone from Limit Breaker Xeno Goku to whatever we're calling this abomination. Unfortunately, it doesn't really look like Super Saiyan full power because of that purple fur. But what we did get out of that was a standard Super Saiyan 4 Xeno Goku, which that does look better, and that is honestly what we should have got from the start. I wouldn't have minded if one of them would have came with like this here to sort of show like the Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4, because with just that you could probably get away with calling that super full power, although Kong's hair does look closer to full power. You guys are probably listening to me ramble and wondering what the hell I'm talking about, but yeah, you can swap the bodies if you wish, and now that I see it, that's probably why they went with a darker fur for the Super Saiyan 4. The GT Super Saiyan 4 release, it's looking more and more likely that they'd literally just release that, so you'd have to buy two figures to make the standard Xeno Super Saiyan 4 Goku, which frustrates me to no end. Yeah, there was absolutely no need for them to do that at all. That is quite annoying, to be completely honest with you. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's your money. You do what you wish with it. Links will still be in the description if you want to buy one or both of these guys. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. As I said before, they are still good figures. It just really feels as if Black Hole Toys rushed them out the door a little bit. But yeah guys, let me know what you guys think in the comments, and until next time, I'll see y'all later.